right, we got more breaking news tonight. A Los Angeles judge has just removed Britney Spears' father, Jamie, as her conservator. This is huge news. He will no longer run her life and her finances for the first time since 2008. That's when Obama was elected. That's so long ago. All right, the decision comes days after Jamie was accused of bugging Britney's phone and planting surveillance cameras in her bedroom. Britney's lawyer says he wants an investigation into those allegations. In the meantime, is Britney free now? Let's talk about it with tonight's party panel. We've got former Trump Advisory Board member Jason Meister is here. Yes, yes. We've got Democrat strategist, talk radio host, and Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall holding it down in L.A. And from the Spectator USA, where he serves as contributing editor and Versus Media podcast host, Stephen L. Miller. Fantastic glasses, Stephen. I will start with you, Jason, since as far as I know, you are the only lawyer on the panel. What does this mean for Britney Spears? Is she free?
First of all, this is great news that just came out that you just broke. Look, she should have never been put into this conservatorship to begin with. It did far more harm than any good that came out of it. The whole purpose of conservatorship is to help people that can't live their own life safely regain their freedoms. This did the exact opposite. This 39-year-old woman didn't have control of her own body. They put her on birth control, and they put an IUD in her so that they could prevent her from having children, which she wanted to have. This went on for 13 long years. And she was drugged, she was manipulated, she was enslaved by her own father through this conservatorship. So this case has far greater implications than just Britney Spears, because it puts a highlight on the fact that there's so many others that are being abused by the system.
Yeah, and there is legislation that has passed in California. There's proposed legislation in the Senate right now, Leslie. So this kind of abuse and misuse of the conservatorship system can't happen. You know, it's like, think about all the people whose names and stories we don't know. Think how they're taken advantage of by an overreacting judge who decides that, you know what, you're not capable of making your own decisions, although you can make everyone in the conservatorship millions of dollars.
Yeah, you can make the money, but you can't own it or spend it. This is a 39-year-old woman who had some difficult times, as many stars out here in Los Angeles do when they start out as kids. Fame is very, very tough to handle, and we saw that with Britney. But for a woman, and I am a pro-choice woman, to force a woman to have a contraceptive inside her body, to not be able to have a child if she chooses to have a child.
And they have not denied that, by the way. Yeah, the conservatorship has not denied that took place.
Correct. No, correct. In addition, it could not get married, you know, well enough to earn the money, not well enough to spend the money or control the money. I am so glad this decision has been made. I don't think she's entirely free yet, because, you know, they are switching, you know, who's going to, you know, control things. But at the same time, we're not talking about somebody that was locked up in a padded cell, you know, for the majority of her life. We're talking about somebody who had some difficult times, as many of us experience, whether mentally or emotionally, and I'm sad that this has gone on for so long. And to your point, Kennedy, God only knows how many people are in this situation right now.
Yeah,
and don't
and
have
how easy it is
name recognition that Britney Spears does.
To take someone's civil rights away from them. But there's a lot of blame to go around here, Stephen. And, you know, obviously Britney is the product of media and culture, and they're singing a vastly different tune now than they were in 2007. Should she be as mad at the media as she is at her dad?
Maybe a little bit more, but that's me. Yeah, we kind of saw her whole drama play out in courtrooms, similar like if it was a VH1 show or a Bravo show. And we're going to be seeing Hulu documentaries, Netflix documentaries. So these guys really haven't learned their lesson. These guys loved watching her kind of shave her head, go cue ball, and take an umbrella to a paparazzi's car. They ate it up. They egged her on. She was hypersexualized at a young age, so she's kind of this media product. And it's not so much like Monica Lewinsky, where these people kind of drove her into madness. and now they're embracing her and they're saying, oh, you're free and we love you and everything's great now. And you have a very exploitative media culture, and then we all sit around and wonder how a reality TV game show host became president of the United States.
And guess what? He will again. And that man's name is Chuck Woolery.
Might again.
All right.
Everyone loves a sequel.
Yep, panel's sticking around, and 2 and 2 will be back with them. Corey may be a young man, but the oldest person ever recorded was a French woman who lived to the age of 122. Mon Dieu. A new scientific study says there's no limit to the human lifespan and that we could theoretically live forever, like Alphaville. So, would you really want to do that? And what would you do with all that free time? The party panel is back. Jason Meister, Leslie Marshall, Stephen L. Miller. Only people with M names tonight. So, Stephen, I will start with you. My grandmother lived to be 100. She had incredible wisdom and faculties until the day she died. She exercised, she drank gin, and she inspired me deeply. I want to live to be at least 100 just like her. Do you want to live past 100?
That's pushing it for me. I'm trying my hardest to cut down on that.
Do you want me to push you over a cliff
living
in your wheelchair?
Not for free. I mean,
you can pay me.
Look,
That's
you
fine.
guys can stick around. You guys can stick around until the robots and the Roombas all band together from being our cleaning slaves to enslaving us. I'm going to be checking out before that happens. It's going to be great when the self-driving cars start self-driving themselves into the entrances of 7-Elevens as revenge for blowing into the Nintendo cartridges. I think I'm going to check out before that happens.
Oh,
so
see,
you guys enjoy Terminator.
I'm not worried about technology. I know that our sex robot overlords are going to leave us smiling, Leslie, and I want to live as many decades as I can to enjoy the fruits of their labor. I said it.
Okay, I think Stephen needs a cocktail. Look, I don't want to, unless I'm like your grandmother, Kennedy. If I could be like your grandmother, if I can have my mind and I can have my body, then sure, bring it on. But that doesn't seem to always be the way it goes. And if it's not the way it goes, then I would like to go. If I don't have my faculties and I'm a burden on my family, forget it.
I think it's exciting, Jason. I think this is a whole new sphere of technology, but we can't start supporting people when they're 62. If they're going to live to 162, the government cannot be funding these people for 100 years. So if you're going to live over 100, you're going to be working.
Build back better.
Yeah. Joe Biden is going to be president for the next 90 years. Go ahead.
I actually did find this study somewhat fascinating because what they're saying is if you can actually reach to 110, mortality actually plateaus. But I'll never make it. I'd like to take my benefits today as opposed to some undetermined date in the future. And conversely, I also like to defer my costs into the future as opposed to incurring them today. In health, that translates to eating a big, fat, juicy ribeye today over the prospect of having good health tomorrow. But that, not to mention that this study didn't talk about it, but 95% of the people that live to the age of 110 are women. I don't know about the other 65 genders.
Dude, chicks,
but
man,
women make it to 110.
that's a great ratio for you. What are you talking about? Mrs. Meister's going to be, and you're going to be like, yeah, ladies, come to Poppy. Or something like that.
Not if the sex robots have anything to say about it.
Oh, the sex robots. God, we're all going to have great ratios. I'm excited about this. I don't know when you guys became such glum pessimists. Does anyone want to back me up here? You're all like, man, I want to die. No? Nothing? All right, I'll go take a handful of pills because you've all depressed me. Party panel, thank you so much for being here. Jason, Leslie, and Stephen.
You're welcome.